Changing your life in 7 days seems impossible, doesn't it? That's why you need to listen closely. Most people live for years, even decades, as if waiting for a miracle that will never happen. They take the future for granted. But the truth is bitter. The person who doesn't decide to change becomes rooted in place. It doesn't take a lot of time. All it takes is one goal, the ability to focus, and the courage to start working immediately. If you stay with me for the next few minutes, I'll show you how to start this journey today. The path to purpose, like a leaf floating down a stream. Most people drift haphazardly through life. They follow any path that comes their way without thinking. They wake up, drink tea, get stuck in traffic, finish work, and come home in the evening feeling that something precious has been lost, and they have lost something. They are squandering their most valuable asset, their time. And why? A lack of clear purpose. Without a goal, every path seems right. But if you don't know the destination, how will you reach it? Have you ever wondered why every day feels the same? The year changes, but nothing else does. This is the silent despair that time is passing, but life is stagnant. The solution is simple, a lack of a clear goal. Setting a purpose is like lighting a lamp in the dark. The path itself becomes visible. You'll act not out of impulse or pressure, but out of your own will, and that changes everything. A clear purpose isn't just something written in a diary. It's a vivid picture in your eyes that touches you deeply. A sacred desire that determines your choices, habits, and discipline. More than that, it protects you from the things that lead most people astray. I saw this in Edwin C. Barnes. He had no money, no influence, no clear reason to believe he'd reach his goal. But he had one vivid picture in his mind: to become a partner, not an employee, of Thomas Edison. Think how few people have such a clear goal. He traveled across the country alone with only a few belongings and his vision. Where most people would have been satisfied with the first opportunity they got, Barnes kept trying until he achieved exactly what he wanted. Because he wasn't looking for any opportunity, he knew what he wanted. And luck favors those who know what they want. This might seem like an exception to you, but believe me, it isn't. Clarity is a decision, a construction, and you can start it right now. Take a diary, a piece of paper. Write down in detail how you want to see your life in the next 12 months. How do you wake up? Where do you live? What do you do? How much do you earn? How do you feel? Who is with you? See it with such realism that you can almost touch it. Now, tell me, how much time have you wasted hoping things would fix themselves? How many goals have you abandoned just because you didn't write them down? The truth is, dreams not written down turn to ashes. Intentions that aren't firm turn into disappointment. But a goal that is written, read, and reread becomes a plan, and plans change lives. Many people say they don't have time to write down goals. Yet, they have hours for worthless talk and pointless worries. The problem isn't time, it's priority. And perhaps you'll ask, what if I write down my goals and don't achieve them? I ask you, what if you never write anything down and stay rooted in the same place for the next 10 years? That should frighten you. With a clear goal, even failures matter. Obstacles become steps. Difficult decisions become easy. You know what's taking you closer to your destination and what's taking you further away. And this eliminates the biggest cause of stagnation, doubt. I remember an evening years ago when I was sitting by the fireplace, frustrated by the lack of progress in the lives of many promising people, talented, educated, having opportunities, but completely lost. And then I understood. They lacked direction, not opportunity. At that moment, I decided to help people find and define their purpose. Because a mind without direction is like an engine without rails. It has power, but it goes nowhere. So, if you truly want to change your life in 7 days, start here. Dedicate day 1 to writing down your purpose. Slowly, honestly, deeply. Write as if your life depends on it. Because it does. Look at it. Read it every day. Rewrite it if necessary. Let it be your guide. And if you don't understand everything right away, don't worry. Clarity comes from action. But the start is made with a decision. The decision to get out of automatic mode and live deliberately. Don't waste another year. Make this week the foundation for something great. The beginning is here, with purpose, focus, and the courage to act. The battlefield of the mind. The mind is the battlefield where every great success or failure begins, and it is here that most people surrender before taking the first step. They are defeated not by a lack of intelligence or opportunities, but by their own thoughts. How many times have you started something with enthusiasm, only for a voice to whisper a few days later, "You can't do it. You'll fail. People will laugh at you." This subtle and destructive voice shatters more dreams than real obstacles. And the cruelest part is that it speaks in your own voice. It knows your deepest fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and it knows when to whisper. But here is a truth that few understand. You can train your mind just like you train your muscles. You can strengthen positive thoughts and weaken negative ones. But it requires discipline. It requires daily practice. Because a mind without direction will always choose the path of doubt. It will always seek comfort and security, even at the cost of its freedom and potential. You've observed how determined most successful people are. They aren't arrogant. They've simply learned to turn the talk in their mind in their favor. Where most people think, "What if I fail?" they think, "What if I succeed?" Where some say, "I can't," they say, "I'll find a way." The difference is in mental training, not magic. After years of interviewing powerful and influential people like Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, and Andrew Carnegie, one thing became clear to me. They all had the habit of seeking solutions in their minds. This wasn't naive optimism, but a firm belief in their ability to find an answer, even in difficult times. There was a time in my life when I was about to be defeated by my own thoughts. After the passing of my wife, I felt like a shadow. I sat silently in a dark room for days. The voices of doubt were telling me that I had failed as a husband, a man, a writer. I couldn't understand anything. Then one day, I got up, went to my desk, and started writing. Without thinking, without planning, but I wrote. And those words became the beginning of a new chapter in my life. Those were the words that formed the foundation of Think and Grow Rich. The lesson is clear. You don't wait for the mind to be right. You take action so the mind becomes right. Don't wait to have confidence. Start working so that confidence comes. Confidence is the reward, not the beginning, and it is given to those who dare to act despite fear. If you feel your mind is obstructing your efforts, don't blame yourself. But don't accept it as your fate. Start with small changes. Watch your thoughts. Recognize the moments when you say, "I can't," or "This isn't for me," and deliberately replace it with something positive, even if your voice is shaking. Say, "I am learning. I am growing. I will make this succeed." One more crucial thing is the environment you create. What kind of content do you consume? Who do you talk to? What do you read? What do you watch? Just as bad food makes the body sick, constant negativity weakens the mind. Therefore, stay away from conversations about failures, lack, and complaints. Go towards people who think big, who have hope, who talk about solutions. Read books that challenge you. Listen to voices that lift you up. And when fear comes, because it will, treat it as a guide. It hasn't come to break you, but to show you where you need to grow. Fear shows your limitations, and there is only one way to cross it. Face it. Not like a fearful warrior, but like someone who acts despite the fear. Have you ever said, "One day I will do it," or "When I am more prepared"? This is the mind trying to postpone the pain of work with the deception of comfort. But that one day never comes. Preparation comes from practice. Strength comes from facing things. Courage comes from confrontation. Challenge yourself for the next 7 days to control your mind. Get up in the morning and repeat 3 powerful affirmations before getting out of bed. Visualize your goal with such intensity as if it is already a reality. And throughout the day, be mindful. Stop, change, and redirect every negative thought as soon as it arises. Do this again and again. This is training, and training brings strength. After 7 days, the world around you might not have changed, but you will have changed inside. And that is what truly matters, because a mind connected to its purpose is an unbeatable force. And when that happens, when your mind is with you, the whole world will open up to you. The illusion of the right time. The illusion of the right time is perhaps the greatest deception of the human mind. It takes the form of wisdom, appears as knowledge and whispers, "Wait a little longer, when things are calm, then." But the truth is, this calm never comes. Life offers opportunities not in perfect conditions, but hidden in chaos, restlessness, and uncertainty. Most people fail not from inability, but from waiting. They wait for the ideal money, the ideal partner, the perfect idea, the approval of others, the courage that doesn't come on its own. They wait for the day when they will wake up full of confidence, prepared, certain that everything will be fine. But that day doesn't come, because confidence is the result, not the prerequisite. Only those who act without certainty create certainty with their steps. I have seen hundreds of men and women who had the power to change the world. They had talent, good ideas, connections. But they kept saying, "It's not the right time." And time, which doesn't listen to excuses, kept doing its work. When they understood they had wasted the best years of their lives, and all they had left was regret. How many times have you said, "I'll start on Monday," or "Next month, I'll change," or "Next year will be different"? And Monday came. The month passed. The year ended, and nothing changed. Because the problem is never the date. The problem is waiting. It's the idea that one day everything will magically be right. I myself was caught in this trap. When I was an advisor to President Franklin Roosevelt, I saw how historic decisions were made amidst chaos, war, and uncertainty. Roosevelt didn't wait for the conditions to calm down. He did what needed to be done, even in the midst of terrible storms. I learned there that great leaders don't look for guarantees. They look for action. When everyone else hesitates, they act, and that's what makes them great. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? I ask you, and what if you never even tried? Failure can teach you something. Inaction teaches nothing. Inaction steals your time, your energy, and your confidence. It slowly extinguishes the flame of initiative until you stop believing that you can change. There's only one difference between those who change their lives and those who keep repeating the same patterns. Those who change take action. Even if they don't know everything. Even if they're afraid. Even if it's small. They start with what they have, where they are, and they create the path as they go. They don't wait to be ready. They decide to be ready. How many times have you seen someone reach their destination and thought, "I could have done that too"? That's not envy. It's the pain of a lack of courage. The decision to start, to persevere, to move forward despite the fear. The truth is, any action, no matter how small, creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. When you take the first step, things start to happen. People appear, paths open up. The universe supports those who are ready to work. And I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about focused energy, about presence. You will start to see opportunities where you previously saw problems. You'll see connections, ideas, paths, and solutions. But as long as you remain still, nothing happens. During the Great Depression, thousands of people lost everything: homes, jobs, respect. And yet, some people still thrived. Why? Because amidst the despair, they started working. I remember the story of a young boy who started selling apples on the streets of New York with no money. Slowly, he built a network, hired people, and opened a small store. Years later, he owned one of the largest distributorships in the area. Not because he waited for the right time, but because he understood that there is only one time. Now. You don't need to see the whole road. You only need to see the next step. And take that step. Not tomorrow. Not when things are better. Now. Even if you're trembling. Even if you have doubts. Because clarity is born in movement. Power is found in momentum. Take a moment to think. What have you been postponing? What is that one decision you know you need to make, but you're waiting for the right time? Start it. It might be writing an idea. It might be making a phone call. It might be making a choice. Any action, but do it. Break the inertia. The energy of the first step is immensely powerful. It changes everything. And remember, time will not wait for you. It will keep moving forward. The difference will be what you decide to do with it. You can get closer to your goal this week, or you can make another excuse. The choice is yours. Life doesn't wait. It rewards those who have the courage to move forward, even when the world tells them to wait. And that's why those who act, even with fear and without guarantees, change everything, including their own story. The power of association. You can get everything right. Have a clear purpose. Build a strong mind. Act with courage. But if you are surrounded by the wrong people, all your hard work will slowly dissipate without you even knowing it. The influence of environment is silent but destructive, and many people only realize it when they are already steeped in habits, thoughts, and behaviors that are not their own, but which they have absorbed from the voices they hear every day. You've heard the saying, "Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are." This is not just motherly advice, it's a deep psychological principle. The people around you unknowingly establish the boundaries of what's possible in your life. They set the tone of your conversations, your expectations, and your self-esteem. Negative people are experts at sowing doubt disguised as advice. They say, "Don't take too many risks. That won't make money. You'll be disappointed." And the worst part is that they say it with affection, as if they are protecting you. But they are not. They are limiting you. They are projecting their own frustrations, the ones they lacked the courage to face, onto you. I saw this happen to a promising young man I met in New Jersey. He had brilliant ideas, ambition, and the will to work. But his family and friends constantly told him he was dreaming too high, that he should find something more realistic. He listened to this for years, and eventually, he abandoned all his projects. Not from a lack of ability, but from overwhelming negative influence. Years later, I met the young man again, and he said with tears in his eyes, "Hill, I didn't fail. I adjusted to the fears of others." That has always stayed with me. People are like magnets. They pull us toward their beliefs. If you are surrounded by people who complain, procrastinate, criticize others, and fear everything, you will soon feel that this is normal. You will adjust. You will adjust your dreams to the average of the group. But success and mediocrity do not walk together. You must choose. Now, think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Do they lift you up? Do they celebrate your success? Do they challenge you to grow? Or are they the people who feed your fears, doubts, and old habits? This is an unsettling question, I know, but it is essential because no real progress can survive in a stagnant environment. During the years I wrote about America's great names in industry and politics, I noticed an interesting pattern. None of them reached the top alone. They all had advisors, mentors, strategic partners, and mastermind groups. People who thought big, who didn't accept excuses, who demanded work, discipline, and vision. They were deliberate in choosing who they associated with. And that's why they got where they did. Andrew Carnegie, for example, used to say that his greatest asset was not his steel or his factories, but his mastermind group. He surrounded himself with the most capable, ambitious, and visionary people of his time. He delegated decisions, listened to opinions, but never allowed negative people into his life. He knew that negative energy is toxic. If you want to change your life in 7 days, you need to look at who is around you. What voices are with you? Are they voices that remind you of your potential, or ones that persuade you to settle for less? And perhaps you think, but they're my childhood friends, my relatives. I can't distance myself from them. And I agree. You don't need to cut them off, but you need to limit them. You can love someone without following their advice. You can be present with them without absorbing them. But at the same time, you must deliberately seek out new associations. People who are already where you want to be. People who think big, who believe in the impossible, who dream, but who act with their eyes open. When I started writing my first book on the laws of success, I faced severe criticism. People said I was wasting my time, that no one wanted to read a practical philosophy of personal achievement. But amidst those voices, there were a few quieter ones that said, "Keep going. This can change lives." Those few voices were like an anchor, holding me steady when everything seemed to be falling apart. That's why I say, find the right voices, even if there's only one. A voice that reminds you of who you can be. A voice that won't let you tear yourself down. And if you don't find anyone like that right now, start with books. Seek inspiration from the ideas of great figures, ideas that elevate ordinary people to great heights. Read, learn, write. Try to learn something new every day. For the next 7 days, conduct an experiment. Stay away from negative conversations and pointless arguments. Replace complaints with gratitude. And spend at least 30 minutes every day with someone or something that inspires you. This small action is the beginning of changing the environment around you, and gradually, it will change you too. If you want a better tomorrow, lay the foundation for it today by choosing your conversations, your environment, and your associates. Your future is heavily influenced by the people you surround yourself with. No one succeeds alone, but many lose because they are connected to the wrong people. You can continue to live passively, or you can live with a defined destination. The most important thing is that the change you are looking for is not outside, but inside you, in your thoughts, choices, actions, and relationships. The power to change your life in 7 days is not magic, but a real and simple choice that can start today. If this resonates with you, you don't need to stop here. The next video on your screen will help you understand this more deeply and support you in becoming an even better version of yourself, starting now. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to meeting you there.